Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's a post on Twitter today that caught my eye by Sir Robert Retford. By the way, I like that name. That's funny. Tweeted out, by 2025, this coin will be at 2 to 5 trillion in the market cap. And it was a poll, and so you got to respond. There were almost 1,500 votes on this. And for those of you that aren't looking at your screen right now, don't worry, I'm going to tell you what it is. 83% responded XRP to be valued at 2 to 5 trillion by 2025. Now, by no means is this sort of scientific. It's largely an indication of the audience that this individual has. I get that. But I wanted to use this as an excellent opportunity to talk about, well, a couple things. First of all, conceptually, the idea of cryptocurrencies being valued in the trillions, individual ones. And I also want to take this as an opportunity to speak about a market cap, what it means, and why it probably isn't what you think it is. Maybe some of you know what I'm going to explain. But I don't think that by and large, people understand that market cap, it has nothing to do, very little to do with the net inflow of cash received within the space. It really has almost nothing to do with that. Prices go up. So I'm going to explain all of that. I'm going to share with you a blog from Galgatron. Now, I'm going to... this is a disclaimer at the outset. My videos are almost every single one. Yes, I share a date with you, but then I always like to share what I think. This one, just to be up front, we'll see how I feel, how much I want to interject, but I more so want to share with you this awesome post that Galgatron wrote up about a year and a half ago having to do with market cap. If you haven't read it, you're going to want to hear this. And if you have read it, it's a good refresher on exactly why all of this matters. But anyway, just anytime I do something like this where it might be a little bit more reading and less on unique Moon Lambo style commentation, I just want to be upfront with you so that the expectations are set. I appreciate you being here, so if you're willing to stick around, thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the support. And I got to tell you, though, regardless of how much insight, my personal Moon Lambo style insight is injected into this video, if you haven't read this blog from Galgatron, you're going to want to stick around for this video. It's awesome stuff here. And so anyway, Garling House's neighbor, XRP, it's a Twitter user, part of the XRP community, responded to this poll, wrote, "This puts XRP $40 to $100. That's likely too high." And of course, he's referencing too high within the time frame of 2025. So that's his opinion. And somebody named Amin Hadou wrote, "Hey Galgatron, can you share your lovely article that you wrote about market cap and how it has nothing to do with price? I don't think they seem to understand it." And this is what prompted me to cover this. I've been wanting to talk more about market cap for a while, and I thought this would be a good idea, a good opportunity to move forward with that. And Galgatron did write in response to this also, I think Garling House's neighbor XRP, who's the one that said 40 to 100 likely too high, said, I think that this individual is aware of this, the blog and the concept of market cap and what it actually means. He wrote, he's just being conservative in the face of the avalanche of selling pressure that separates us from that range, which is a very fair point. And Garling House's neighbor XRP, in fact, did respond bingo with 3 thumbs up. So that, in fact, is what's going on. Okay, let's get into this piece here. And the piece begins. It's called The Myth of Market Cap. It's difficult for most people to get past the psychological barrier of the infamous market cap. For those that don't understand what market cap is, I first want to point out that it stands for market capitalization and is in no way an attempt to define a cap, which meaning limit or capacity. It's a profoundly complex mathematical formula, so brace yourself for this very long and brain-wrenching definition of a coin's market cap. Ready? And it is last trade price times circulating supply. OMG, are you okay? Stay with me now. Yes, the market cap formula is this ridiculously infantile multiplication between 2 numbers. It is precisely because this formula is so stupendously simple that it has become adopted by the masses as some form of meaningful indicator of something. What that is exactly, not many people can put their finger on, but generally most people believe that the higher it gets, the more likely it is to fall. On with the myth busting. Myth number 1. The market cap represents how much money has been pumped into a coin. And guys, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the net inflow of cash represented. It said nothing to do with that. So anyway, Galgotron writes, this is the single most common misperception that virtually everyone falls for, at least in the beginning. For example, if a market cap is worth, say, $1 billion, then there must have been $1 billion of money pumped into it, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. So wrong that I have to keep saying wrong just to really drive home the point of how incredibly wrong it is. Wrong. Remember, the formula is last trade price times circulating supply. So, if person A buys 100 bitcoins for $10,000 each, then the market cap is $10,000 times 17 million coins, which is 170 billion. Then person B comes along and buys one bitcoin, just one, for $10,200. That times 17 million is 173.4 billion. The market cap has increased by $3.4 billion because one person bought one Bitcoin coin for an extra $200 each. Yes, really, this is how it works. And that is such an important point. All right. This is how incredibly stupid and useless the calculation of market cap is in the first place. What the hell is it good for? It doesn't actually reflect the money behind the coin. It's absurdly large and can be exponentially manipulated by one simple small trade. I mean, I'm at a total loss to understand how it's possible that it has proliferated like it has. It's like watching the same card trick over and over and over and over and over, and the audience, the same audience, just does not get the trick, applauding like morons every single time the trick plays out. What's even far worse is the perception that the market cap can also represent what can be taken out of the market. Saying things like, Chris Larson could be the world's first trillionaire. LOL. Oh man, let's just see how many millions he can pull out before XRP, and with it the market cap, tanks to historical lows. I bet he wouldn't even pay off his mortgage. Market cap does not in any way indicate the health, wealth, or potential of a coin. It's a meaningless number given to the masses to play with. A psychological barrier, nothing more. Myth number 2. You can compare the market cap of one coin to the market cap of another. Let's say my intensely savvy mother opened a successful shoe repair shop and has 1,500 shares in her business, and she sold me 500 shares for $50,000. So that's $100 a share. Then the market cap would be $150,000, which is $100 times 1,500. To contrast, let's say IBM's market cap is $145 billion. Circle any of the following that are true, and there are just two options here. So here's number 1. IBM's market cap is way too high because Mom's shoe repair shop market cap is nowhere near that. Thus, IBM is due for a major correction. I love it. 2. Mom's shoe repair shop's market cap is way undervalued compared to IBM's market cap and is an exceptionally good buy opportunity before the next parabolic hits. He writes, if you circled any of the above, you're stupid. I love this little blip there. I like it. He writes, yet amazingly, people fail this test for stupidity all the time with crypto. Why? Because they don't understand what the hell it is they are investing in. End of story. Bitcoin is the shoe shop. A rickety humdrum collage of best intentions, creaky doors, and a doppelganger outlet on every corner. People have been coming here for years, and their shoes have always been fixed in less than a week. Why rush a good thing? Ethereum is Starbucks. Big, high-strung, very high-tech, but once you get past the caffeine high, it's long lines, expensive, and the boutique charm is wearing off. Don't get me started about the music. Ripple is SpaceX. Hundreds of the best people in the world, companies, governments, militaries, all foaming at the mouth at the possibilities. You want that effing car in orbit around the sun in 8 minutes? Done. That's awesome. Go ahead, try to convince me that Ripple's market cap has one damn thing to do with Bitcoin shoe sales. Please, you're embarrassing me because you're not embarrassed. You cannot compare different coins' market caps. Well, this is me speaking out. Not literally, you can't, but you shouldn't because it's stupid. All right. Anyway, Bitcoin's effective realm has been reduced to an anonymous store of value. That's it. It will never be a real-world daily use currency. It will never be cheap to transact. Companies are dropping it as a form of payment. And there's yet another Bitcoin version coming out all the time. It's crap. Sure, it may continue to grow because of name branding, or with the addition of the complex beast of Lightning Network. But even without negative propaganda, the experience of using Bitcoin alone serves to severely limit more growth. Ether also has a lot of the same issues. Slow, not scaling, still waiting on sharding, expensive, etc. But it isn't about money as much as it is about dApps and contracts. This is its unique product, albeit its ability to support that market is pretty saturated right now. Already? Question mark? So unless the technology improves scaling dramatically, it's going to remain bogged down, driving further adoption away. Market cap will drag. Ripple, bada bing, sorry. Imagine a pile of gold to the sky, worth quadrillions of dollars. This is the bank's pile. They see mom's shoe shop and keep walking. It's obviously a money laundering operation. They stopped for coffee at Starbucks, and even though the coffee was good, the line killed them. Don't get me started about the music. Then they saw a effing car in space. A car in space. Now all the banks want to know is, how do they get their car into space? Ripple's market cap has nothing to do with any other coin whatsoever. If Bitcoin's market cap can reach X amount solely on anarchist gibberish, money laundering, and name branding alone, and if Ethereum can muscle its way to respectability with just a promise of maybe delivering someday, then Ripple, production ready, regulatory compliant, foot in the door, and coming up on first base, let's just say that we're orders of magnitude away from what the market cap needs to be able to digest all that banker's gold. In other words, we're leaving Bitcoin/Ethereum behind. Myth number 3. Market cap can be used to predict maximum value. Man, this one hurts. How many times have you read people's valuation of, well, there's $1 trillion there's trillions of dollars moved by Swift every day, so trillions divided by Ripple equals lots. Dumb. There's only one mechanism that creates value: supply and demand. Supply is easy. It's the number of liquid coins that are immediately ready for trade, not speculator-held coins, not escrowed coins, not lost coins, not burned coins, not reserve coins, not contractually restricted coins, or any other conceivable condition by which a coin is not liquid, especially coins in flight. Very important. The number of actual liquid coins is a very small fraction of all coins. Literally, all the liquid coins are on some form of exchange, whether it be a conventional crypto exchange, a trading app on your phone, etc. It must be ready to move to count. Most coins are locked up. I'd go so far as to say 95% of XRP are out of the market's reach, and therefore do not contribute to supply in the context of determining value. By the way, I do want to point, this is me, Matt, talking now. Do you remember the survey that I was talking about long-term hodlers? People are not just buying. People that hold XRP like you and me, I'm willing to bet you if you're listening to this anyway, you're holding for the long haul. There's a survey I covered recently that shows that over 94% of XRP holders are long-term hodlers, not buying and selling again and again and again on exchanges. I mean, some of us like me, I keep buying. I'm on a set schedule. I do keep buying. But most of it not available for sale. And so that's one of the... And I've made this point on this channel before, and I'm glad Galgatron brings it up in this blog, that 100 billion XRP doesn't sound so high when you're talking about a couple things. When you consider that most of it isn't even available, and probably never will be. Most people are just going to hold on to the existing supply because they know it's used, which means it has actual value and as well as associated, as a result, rather, a market price as well. And then if you consider the fact that people don't understand what decimal places are, there are only, like I mentioned in my last video, 47 times as many XRP drops as there are Bitcoin Satoshis. And so when people look at it in terms of there's 4,700 times as much XRP as there is Bitcoin, you're really missing the picture there. Anyway, the piece continues here. That leaves 5%, which is less than 5 billion XRP, and it's only this small pile of coins that everyone needing to procure XRP will be fighting over. The demand part of supply and demand is an aggregate of many forces, but those forces all sum together at the point of purchase on an exchange. When demand is greater than supply, the price goes up and vice versa. Demand for XRP will come from one thing: increasing usage. If I want to send my mother $150,000 worth of XRP, I will create demand. The more people buying their mother's shoe shops, the more demand gets created. You might say, well, as soon as mom sells the XRP I sent her, we have a net zero situation and the price wouldn't change. Yes, you are correct, but if during my purchase, transmission, and mom sales, someone else needs to buy some XRP, some liquid XRP, there will be less supply of them available and the price will be higher. Extend this scenario to where hundreds of thousands of transactions are happening per hour, and you should see that a lot of liquid XRP has been converted to in-flight XRP, drying up the supply and rapidly driving up the price because of scarcity. In other words, the volume of XRP utilization trades where XRP actually leaves one exchange for another for the purpose of value transfer, not speculative trading, will be what determines the basis for real demand, and it won't pay any attention whatsoever to said market cap. Demand is demand, and it will be satisfied at any cost. Higher volume, higher demand, higher price. This isn't taking into consideration speculative valuations. This is literally the base values calculation driven by utilization alone, but I think we all know that speculative value is the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room. Without speculation, XRP's value could never bootstrap itself high enough to reach the liquidity required for the banks to be able to use it in the first place. The higher we push XRP, the closer we get to bank adoption, and they'll take it from there. Forget about how much SWIFT transfers in a day or how much money there is in the world. The only number that matters is XRP utility trading, and there are so many unknowns that contribute to this number that it makes no sense to even attempt an educated guess. For example, Javon's paradox will take any present-day financial metrics and exponentially blow them through the roof. Instead of saying SWIFT sends trillions per day, so XRP must equal blah to handle it, you need to think, well, XRP will turn those trillions per day into trillions per minute? Yes, I'm not exaggerating. There's nothing we see today that can serve as a basis for the reinforcing effect that instant money transfers will have on the economy, and more than a mailman from the days of the Pony Express could have estimated the number of global emails sent by people every day. Death to market cap. Now is that not awesome? I absolutely love this piece. I love this. I agree with everything that he wrote in here. I can't think of one thing that I didn't agree with here. Conceptually, this is exactly how it works, and almost nobody gets this. And so that's why when we're looking at what I now have on my screen, let me scroll back up. I look at this poll, and again, it's just a silly little poll. That's fine. But when we're talking about a $2 to $5 trillion market cap by the year 2025, well, forget the timeline, but is it possible for XRP to be valued in that way? Yes. This is not financial advice, by the way. No financial background here. But from my perspective, the answer absolutely is yes. And as long as we keep seeing adoption, that gives me optimism to continue to hold XRP, and I think we'll get there. There isn't a limit. Humans will choose to value XRP at whatever they choose to value it. There's an open market, and it'll do what it does. But it's super thrilling to me because it's such early days right now. You've got just a fraction of a percent of humans that even know what XRP is, and here we are buying it by the truckload, or at least I am, relatively speaking. Exciting times ahead. Tell me what you guys think about this. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with it? I always like diversity of thought, so even if you think that Galvatron got it wrong, or if I'm getting something wrong, I love diversity of opinion and happy to hear you out and have a thoughtful discussion, critical thinking, all that good stuff. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!